crawling in the bright daylight, voices twisted, feeding us the blight, telling stories that were never true. We fight to break on through. Lies are woven like a velvet chain, slick with power driving us insane. But the fire burns deep within our chests. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we make a mark. They call us rebels, say we've lost our way, but freedom's blood, it fuels the fray. From the ashes comes a brighter light. We fight with all our might. See resolve in the roaring storm, breaking cages will rewrite the norm. No more silence, no more disguise. We fight with open eyes. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we make a mark. We fight, we make a mark.
First, Caitlin, something I just heard from a senior Israeli official who says that according to Israeli assessments, there are very high chances that the entire Iranian general staff, including the head of the Iranian general staff of the Iranian military, and several senior Iranian nuclear scientists were all eliminated in the Israeli strikes tonight. I hear that again from a senior Israeli official who says that several senior top Iranian military commanders, including the head of the general staff of the Iranian military and senior nuclear scientists, have all been targeted in those strikes. And according to IDF assessments, there's a high chance that they've been eliminated.
I mean, that is really striking intelligence, if that is accurate.
First, Caitlin,
Whew. Wow. Well, stuff's happening. Holy smokes. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the ACE Report. Got a lot to cover tonight. Obviously, we're mostly going to be talking about Israel and Iran and what it means for the rest of the world. There's a few extra other stories we'll cover today, too. It'll be a little bit less time on those, but this is obvious. This is the biggest thing in the world, and it's going to affect everything. Already affecting stock markets, stuff like that. And holy smokes, guys! If you thought nothing was happening, oh my God! Yeah. So this is what we're waiting for. I mean, not that we wanted world wars to go on and stuff, but this is what we've been looking for as far as stuff to ramp up. But man, jeez, I see I'm a little blurry again. Stupid Rumble. I cannot. Thing drives me nuts. Anyways, trying to put on a production for you guys, and the just being failed by my software. That sucks. Anyways, well, I'll get it to where we're looking at. You won't notice it as much. All right, so Israel attacked Iran, and it's ongoing. It's ongoing, but we're seeing all kinds of craziness go on. They're still doing it. We're looking at strikes at their nuclear facilities. They've taken out most of Iran's military leaders, their nuclear guys. It's wild, and so lots of questions to ask and hopefully get answered. Lots of speculation going to be on what's coming, but anyways, let me say hey to some folks first while we're before we get going. Toe Cramps first tonight. What's up, man? Jack Hamilton, Butters, what's going on? Blue 5, Kim Wiley, Alan Krentz, AJ Trader, what's up, man? Stony Bones, Troy, man, T Bowtie, Alex, One Love, Vin, man, Gerald Kramer, Agent Orange, Patrice, Randy Atwell, Frank Anastasio, Stephen Cromer, Brian T. What's up? Come Out 7, Country Computers, Cast Sync, how's it going? Hero at Large, Linda Talley, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Scott Volkovich, Victor Yara, Dabota, Wago Waco, US 1, Mike Mishler, Born Free. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Anybody reaching out over here on, Lochtefeld, what's going on Rumble? Yeah, talk about GameStop. Oh, man, what a disaster. What a disaster. Am I going to talk about Boeing tonight? I wasn't planning on it. You mean about that crash in India? I mean, it's terrible, but it really doesn't have too much to go on with us right now and everything we're focused on. So the main question everybody is wondering tonight is, did Trump sign off on this? And Israel claims that they did this in coordination with the U.S., but I believe it's a false claim. And let's look at this real quick. Jordan Sather says, Israeli media spreading a claim U.S. helped coordinate Israeli strikes against Iran. Apparently a lie, because Marco Rubio in the White House had to quickly go public, state the U.S. isn't involved in it. Israeli media probably spreading fake news to try and drag the U.S. in. And here's what Israel said. Operation Iran coordination with the U.S. That was at 6:25. I'm guessing that's not, they didn't attack till 8 o'clock Eastern. But here's what Marco Rubio had to say about it. He says, tonight, Israel took unilateral action against Iran. That's a pretty strong statement. Okay, unilateral means we ain't in it. We are not involved in strikes against Iran. Our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Israel advised us that they believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. That's a very important statement. Israel advised us they believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. They did not say they signed off on it. They did not say they agreed. That's a distancing statement. It's saying this is what Israel told us. We're not telling you whether we agreed or not. It says President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel. That's a big freaking just, Iran, we're not a part of this. Don't involve us. And this is for us. I believe it's for everybody else, like the MAGA movement who doesn't want war. Trump himself, we know he doesn't want to get involved. I think Trump's pissed about this. You know, today was the deadline. Trump gave Iran 60 days to negotiate a deal with their nuclear arms, and that was 60 days ago. Today was the day it ran out, but Trump wanted to keep meeting with them. In fact, they had meetings scheduled with Iran on Sunday. I mean, I think Israel just waited till 60 days and they probably came to the U.S. and were like, we're going to do this on day 60. You can join us or not. And by all accounts, it looks like the U.S. did not want to be a part of it. This is spreading to Financial Lot says President Trump reportedly told Israel on Monday not to strike Iran. This has also been confirmed by the Washington Post. And then Mario Nafal shares this. Trump to Netanyahu, you're on your own if Israel strikes Iran. Trump told Netanyahu if Israel hits Iran, it's flying solo. Reports surface, U.S. won't join any Israeli military strike, even as nuclear talks teeter on collapse. Pentagon canceled CENTCOM chief's Israel visit, signaling sharp distance. Says Israeli strikes might very well happen, but warned against spoiling the last shot diplomacy. And that's from Axios. So these are actual, media outlets reporting on this as well, not just Twitter people. So I believe, knowing what we know, I believe Trump was evacuating people from the embassies in Iran, everything yesterday. I believe it's pretty obvious. Like, we were not a part of this. This was not our plan. So just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I never, I can't remember. And if one of you guys can remember, in my lifetime, I was born in 83. I can't remember any time in my lifetime where Israel did an attack like this without it being coordinated with the U.S. So this does signal a major difference from where we're at. And get ready, because the psyops are going to blow up with riots. If there's sleeper cells here by anything Iranian funded, like Hezbollah, Hamas, that came across the border, we could start seeing attacks here on our homeland. Although I don't think it's as likely. I think that's much more likely to go fight Israel. But we need to pray, guys. We need to pray we don't get dragged into this, that no American troops get involved, that we don't even get involved financially. Let Israel fight this war, since they preemptively struck. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my opinion, unless there's some going on behind the scenes we just don't know. But we need to pray for that. We need to pray for safety here. And yeah, this is wild. This is wild, but this is the destabilization. It's all planned. It is. It's all of this is meant. There's no way all of this is not coordinated. I mean, we have right here. I'm not the only one who's been saying this. Actually, I'll get to that in a second. Let's just look at some of these crazy shots. This is just wild. This is their nuclear facilities just being blown up. So crazy. Turd Ferguson says, the other day, Trump called for all military dependents to evacuate the Middle East. When questioned by a reporter about it, Trump said, you will see. Yeah, exactly. So Israel told them. I have no doubts about that. Israel told them they were going to do it, but I don't think we were involved on it. Fox News banner said, Iran said Israel and U.S. will pay a heavy price. I know they, and I mean, it makes sense. They thought, U.S. has been involved in all this Israel stuff in the past. So it makes sense that Iran would automatically think we're part of it. But Rubio's statement was pretty clear. Alan says, my thoughts, Trump's trip to the Middle East. Trump said, your thoughts when Iran is attacked. What are you going to do? What? Said your thoughts when Iran is attacked? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't remember that at all. But I don't think Trump signed off. Telling everyone to leave is not signing off. It is protecting your people from Israel. So I'm going to disagree with you there, Alan. I really am. So, and that's okay. We can disagree. Vince says, my wife asked me, is Trump okay with this? And then I said, I see he's one of us. She liked oh, thank you. That's very nice. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Appreciate that as well. You guys are awesome. That's all I gotta say. Kerr Diaz says, new here. I'm a Christian. Even I'm tired of Israel's leader. Kerr, thank you. Listen, I'm a Christian as well. I love Jesus very much, and I love Israel. I've been there. I've spent 3 weeks in Israel. I've been all over. Israel's a beautiful country and amazing people. I don't believe Israel's evil fully. I don't believe they are perfect fully. I think we make a lot of mistakes about Israel and how we approach them. The truth is, it's another country. It's got a lot of history. It's amazing in many ways, but there's too much insanity going on with their warmongering. And Bibi Netanyahu is a warmonger. That's all there is to it. He's done some good things at times when they needed it, but he's also he's started things they didn't need to either. And here's the problem with here's the problem with what's going on right now. It's that we don't know how bad things were in Iran. And this is why I gotta tell you that my entire life, Iran has been constantly the horn has been constantly blown that Iran's close to having a nuclear weapon. My entire life. I mean, in 1995, they said Iran's within 5 years of a nuke. In 2005, they said they're within 5 months. This has happened time and time and time again. And the truth is, we, the people, don't know. We don't know if they were ever close. We don't know if Israel had good information. They used it as an excuse to try to get into war with Iran, to wipe out Iran. They are scared of Iran. Iran hates Israel. I'm not defending anything from Iran. Trust me. Iran's leadership is evil. It's evil to its own people. They're awful. And so I'm not defending Iran by any means. What I mean though is, was it so bad it was time to go to war over it? And that's what we do not know. And only our intelligence knows. And they're not sharing it with us. Okay. So, but I believe it sure looks like Trump truly believed that he was the one going to be trying to bring peace to the region and actually get a deal where we could go in and overlook everything. So listen, I don't believe any of this is like biblical prophecy right now, anything like that. So we're not going to get into that discussion. Israel's been at war many times in my lifetime. Every single time the church is like, oh, this is it. This is the end. This is the end times. It's finally here. Never happened. So listen, we're not going to go there. But this still is significant. And it's significant because, well, obviously it's significant because it's war, but it's also very significant because the timing. And so I'm going to bring this up right now. This is, let's see here. Where is it? Where is that post I wanted to share? Just a second, guys. Give me a second. Here it is. And this Tom Luongo, I believe he's one of the best macroeconomists in the world, and he understands what's going on foreign in the markets and in the world better than most people. I've been listening to him for 4 years. He's been right about almost everything. Everybody gets some stuff wrong, but he's been very right on many things. And he says this: BB lighting this off as part of the clearly coordinated multi-pronged assault on Trump's credibility to usher in World War III and crash the global economy rather than lose. And that's exactly what this is about. This is just another part of that. Why do you think that we have people like Fetterman on the Democrats saying, like, we must join quick to Israel now. We must do everything to destroy Iran. We have Fetterman out there saying that. We have Lindsey Graham just disgustingly tweeting out just how giddy he is over this fight. It's disgusting. Okay, so we have the neocons and the globalists full on getting excited about this. This is like their wet dreams. And so that tells you, you look for the worst people. They're the ones, they tell you who's behind it all. And that's what I've been saying this all week, ever since the riots started on Sunday and I started covering the riots. I said, this is it. This is here. Bam has been calling it out. His model has been showing the market coming to a tank. Well, guess what? The market is now tanking as a result of this. We have right here futures down 640 on the Dow. S&P down 1.5%, NASDAQ down almost 2% in futures. It's crushing. I mean, oil is soaring up almost 10%. Crypto is just getting destroyed right now. So, I mean, listen, this is the attack to kill the markets. I mean, it is. They're doing everything. So we're getting civil unrest. We're getting the war drums pounding, trying to ramp things up, and we're getting the market tank. They're trying to crash the economy. All three prongs, federal, domestic, not federal, domestic, foreign, and economic. They are attacking all three prongs right now to destroy this Trump administration, to ruin his chances at having a successful administration. This is the all out, and it has started. Summer's here. Summer of Love 2.0. And I think we're going to have 3 to 6 months of this. I think we're going to have 3 to 6 months of just chaos, where they keep just one thing after another. And this is where we got to pray that Trump and his team are protected and have more wisdom than many other leaders ever have in history. This will determine the next 3 to 6 months if Trump goes down as one of the greatest leaders of all time. This is it. This is what's going to determine it, because this is all the bad people doing all the worst things all at once. And they are, they don't have the same power they used to have. They don't have the same funding they used to have. So they will run out and we will win, but we have to see it through. And it's just going to take, patience. It's going to take deftness and wisdom. And I gotta say, I just I'm already blown away by how well Trump is handling this, how he's keeping his cool in front of everybody. When he's asked questions, he's being very deft. He's not giving anything away, and it's very impressive. But this is ramping up fast. You see stuff like this where the Islamic Iran account, Netanyahu, you started this, now watch what's coming. They're calling out what they want to do. It's crazy. The State Department is putting it out. As a result of current situation, U.S. embassies directed all U.S. government employees and their family members to shelter in place until further notice. This doesn't say Iran. So, I thought we cleared out Iran, but this could be all of them. This could be embassies worldwide. They're telling to stay hunkered down. Just yesterday, Iran's chief commander of the Revolutionary Guard Corps says our next confrontation with Israelis will be far more crushing, devastating, and destructive. Well, they killed him today, but that makes me think they have plans geared up for an attack. Iran's just getting pelted right now. Here's all the sites that have been attacked. Their main enrichment facility, Tehran capital. They took out a bunch of their leadership. So this is wild. This is absolutely wild. This is the largest attack on Iran in my lifetime that I can remember. Thank you, JR. Please remember, like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Patrice says, I'm worried Putin will enter the scene. Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful. In fact, it's more likely than not that they've already decided not to get involved in the Middle East. Putin, he's Ukraine, Russia. After that last attack, the drone attack from Ukraine to Russia, where they took out a bunch of their fleet, the Russians have just been bombing the snot out of Ukraine since then. Full on offensive. Ukraine's getting blitzed, and Putin doesn't have the resources to stretch beyond that right now. It's estimated like up to 1 million Russians have already died in the 3 years of that war. So he's not going to have resources to branch out. So I want to worry about Putin and Russia getting involved. I think this is going to stay localized. I do. If we want to talk about what could be good about this or positive, I think this stays localized. I don't think it's going to spread too much, although there's going to be a lot of these countries in the area are going to sound off and say like, hey, if you continue, we're going to do this or what. But Iran doesn't have any friends. Let's just be honest. They don't have any friends or allies, truly. And now Israel doesn't have many either, especially because they struck preemptively. But most of these other nations are not going to want to get involved. Iraq and Iran hate each other. Saudi Arabia hates them. I just don't see it. I don't see it. So this will stay localized. Russia has no incentive to get involved. Now, the one thing would be if China wants to get involved, but I don't think China gets involved unless the U.S. gets officially involved, and then they do it behind the scenes. So we'll see what happens with that. Moody says, why would Israel be involved with destroying Trump's term? Well, that's a great question. Israel is not controlled by, the current leadership of Israel is not controlled by the best people. Israel has been used many, many times to advance globalist agenda stuff. It just has. I didn't used to believe this. Okay. It took me years of researching and looking around, watching what's happening in the moment to come to this. And again, I'm not saying Israel's fully evil, because that's just simply not true. All right. But they do several things where they have, they've partnered with the globalists. There's a reason why Israel has navigated well between Democrat and Republican, no matter who's in office. Okay. I grew up where Israel could basically do no wrong. That was kind of my belief system in the old style Republican, evangelical Christian belief system, that I just saw Israel as in some ways even more important than the U.S. for a long time, because of all the biblical ties and stuff. I no longer believe that, but I used to. And when you believe that, you're scared. You're like, hopefully the Democrats don't get in and they don't partner with Israel, but then they get in and they say different things, and they weren't as chummy, in person. But they did still that relationship never really shifted. There's a reason why 77% of Jews in America still vote Democrat. Okay. It's all a game. It's all a uniparty. Trump's the first one to really change that. And when Trump first came in, he brought peace to the region, the Abraham Accords. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He was very close to Israel, but also Israel wasn't defying him. I think Israel was trying to cozy up to Trump. And then this term now it's completely different. Now we have Israel is just, ever since October 7th, which, 2 years ago, we haven't covered that in a long time. I'm not going to go deep into it right now, but ever since then, Israel's been really unhinged. They really have. And it's crazy to see, but Israel has been used by globalists many, many times in the last 70 years. So, Lee says, Israel never needs approval, though. Am I right? Well, right and wrong. It's not that they need approval. It's that they usually do it with the U.S. because the U.S. has their interests as well. And it's just not a good idea to cut the hand that feeds you, or bite the hand that feeds you. But that's what happened now. So wonder if Powell shits the bed and raises rates when inflation hits. I don't think he'll raise rates. I really don't. Alan says we don't have an embassy there. I don't know if we do or not. I heard what Trump said the other day made it sound like we did, which I was actually surprised by, to be honest. So it could be days to weeks. These strikes could be, they'll keep going, but I don't know if they'll be able to allow it to keep going, honestly. And the reason why, not allowed is the wrong word. I don't know if it'll make sense. Because if Iran starts striking them hardcore, it's going to be very difficult for them to keep striking and striking, although they will a little bit. It'll be retaliatory at that point. It'll just keep ping-ponging back and forth. But Israel's also going to be focused on a lot of defense. And Israel's a small country. They have a lot more weaponry than Iran, but it's still a small country. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But yeah, what do they want to keep it going? Oh yeah, I think they want to completely destroy Iran's military capability completely. I mean, that's what it said to me tonight. They went after the nuke facilities, of course, but they also took out the leaders of their military, and that's a big deal. I mean, so yeah, it's it's wild. Then we got, I mean, 2 days till Flag Day, June 14th. No King's Day, as the left is calling it, with all their protests set up in 1,500 U.S. cities. So this is, I mean, as crazy as things are right now, as crazy as things has been since Sunday, since the riot started in L.A., it's only ramping up. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Donna says the Iranian people don't like their government. You're right. That's 100% true. And that is a point that Bibi made in his speech tonight, is that they're taking out their leadership, their military, to free the people. I don't necessarily believe in that, but it's a good line, and we'll see if it's true. I truly would hope that the people would rise up. But here's the problem. If Israel strikes, the way they're going right now, they're really spreading them out. If it starts getting to where innocent people are getting killed, even the people will unite behind their government. They won't see it as an opportunity. And that's the problem when this is the way it happens. Now, if these strikes are extremely targeted, they're not spreading, then it could open a door for Iran's people to come out. So, and maybe take back their government. We'll see. Michaela says, why did they do this tonight instead of Friday? It's a good question. I think it's because they waited just to when Trump's 60 days were up, and then they struck the second that timeline was up. They waited till nighttime, and then they struck as soon as it was up. That's why, I think. But Operation True Promise, I don't know what that is, Prison. Can you explain that? Big JR says, we have an embassy there that moved it to Israel. Oh, yeah. I think he was talking about Iran, not Israel, but maybe he was talking about Israel. We're going to have way more protesters out this weekend, Michael. We haven't even seen it yet. This was Sunday was in LA has just been a preview. I don't know if they'll be in Charlotte, Silly Goose, but I'm pretty sure they will be. When I say that, Charlotte has a very liberal population. North Carolina is a redder state, but we have very blue areas. I live in North Carolina. Very blue areas. Charlotte's one of them, and Raleigh's one of them. So there's a few very blue cities in North Carolina. I would imagine there's going to be riots. Roger says, I'm late to show it, but I'll say, what makes me think Trump didn't know or approve? Well, for one thing, I covered this at the very beginning, Roger, so you might want to go back and watch the first 10 minutes. But the short of it is that Rubio's already come out and made a statement. We had nothing to do with it. Trump, there's several reports coming out from Washington Post, Axios, that Trump did not sign off on this, that he even told them don't do it. We had plans to meet with Iran on Sunday. So there's several reasons to believe we did not approve on this. So Boswell says, some bad people here may act up in retaliation over the Israel attack on Iran, make the protests least of our worries. Well, that's possible. It is possible. But I don't, again, I'm hopeful that that maybe that won't happen. We've been able to fend off that stuff for a long time here, and I hope that we can do it again. But nothing's guaranteed. Rum Dog, explain why if Powell lowers our interest, it lowers our payment on debt. Are we paying ourselves? If that's so, why not lower it to zero, make the payment, move the percent back to where it is? Well, for one thing, we don't have the money to pay it all off at once, so you can't keep it at zero forever. For another thing, when it's zero in our current system, that encourages inflation if the economy is doing okay and with all that money. So we'd have rampant inflation. So you can't just do that. I know it was interesting hearing them say, Trump saying that today about Powell. Usually it's the bond market that determines how we pay stuff back. So I thought it was interesting why he was comparing it to the Fed. But he might have been talking about maybe not the national debt, but Well, actually, he was talking about the national debt because he was using big enough numbers. So yeah, I was actually confused why Trump was. I was confused why Trump was talking about that. Okay, Alan says he confirmed Iran doesn't have an embassy or diplomatic presence. So, which makes sense to me, Alan. I was confused when Trump said that the other day. Maybe he was talking about Israel. He might have been talking about our people stationed in Israel. So, all I know is that he did say that, and I showed you guys that it was last night or the night before. Here's some of who they took out in the strike. It's increasingly likely Iranian chief of staff, members of general staff, senior nuclear scientists all killed. It's just so crazy. This is so this is where the people part, what I was talking about. See, this is residential areas in northeast and west Tehran targeted by Israeli airstrikes. Likely target elimination attempts of senior. But if you're attacking, I mean, these big buildings, odds are that you killed civilians. You kill civilians, you can quickly lose the support of the people. So it's just not quite what BB's saying. Yeah, it's a good day to stay at home on the 14th. I agree with you. I'll probably run a live that night just to keep you guys all in. We can all meet here and talk. We do have military everywhere. Here's just a little more proof of, like, I mean, look at this. We got Swalwell, you know, the guy who likes banging Chinese spies. He's calling everybody out on the 4th.
What can you do at home? It's No King's Day this Saturday. 2,000 rallies across America. Americans need to show up, because if we don't show up, democracy dies.
Democracy dies. I mean, so this is the kind of stuff they're pushing, guys. This tells you how important this is to them on Saturday. They want these riots to go. They want to cause this craziness. They think it's going to help them. They do. They still believe this old playbook works. But this is how communists do it, guys. Communists, I mean, one of the best books out right now is called Unhumans. It was written by Jack Posobiec and Josh Lisek, I think. And this whole, they go through all the communist revolutions since the late 1800s, and all of them, they start with civil unrest. They push it, and color revolutions are a part of it, but they break down society. They do psyops. It's the communist playbook. It's what they've been doing for almost 200 years. And it's the same every time. And now what they're doing is they're hoping they can pull it off one more time. They are, because they never thought they were going to lose the election. They thought they had it. They thought in 2020 they beat Trump. It was over. They thought it was done. And then when it wasn't, when he came back, they were shocked. They were absolutely shocked. And now they think they can get it back with one last ditch attempt, but they're running out of money. Us pulling U.S. aid was huge, but they still have what the Biden administration gave them at the end of last year. Remember, the last, I think, 2 months, maybe 3 months of the Biden administration, they gave $100 billion to NGOs and stuff through USAID. They sent it all out. They pushed it all out, just got rid of all that money so that they could all be taken care of one last time. They would all have money in their back pocket for one last push. I mean, look at this right here. Before leaving office, Democrats sent $260 million to George Soros. Watch this crazy clip right here.
Donald Trump claims Hungarian-American billionaire George Soros is responsible for interfering in the political landscape of many countries. The account claims that Soros used a hefty $260 million from U.S. aid to spread chaos, change governments, and pursue personal gain in countries such as India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Ukraine. Now, this comes as the Trump administration continues to freeze U.S. aid's budget, describing its initiatives as misaligned with American interests and accusing them of destabilizing global peace.
Oh, many ideas, but look, he's done a great job. Look at all the fraud that he's found in this U.S. AID. It's a disaster what the people, radical left lunatics, they have things that nobody would have even believed. The whole thing with $100 million spent on you know what, with money going to all sorts of groups that shouldn't deserve to get any money, with the money. I'd like to see what the kickbacks are.
No, just crazy. 260 million at the end of the Biden administration just to Soros to use and all this. So, and this is the money they're using to make all this happen. But that gravy train, that nonstop printing machine for them is out. It's over. And so once they make this push, guys, this is their last bit of money. That money starts drying up. Remember, we funded the entire world. The entire world has been living off our money for decades now, and it's only gotten worse the last 20 years. Living off our money. That's what globalism was all about. Get all these people money so they can slowly change all these countries to take over the world, put us more and more enslaved, make our money worth less and less, make it harder and harder for us to live freely, make it so we can't buy homes, okay? We can't travel. Just drug us with cheap goods, Netflix, alcohol, drugs, pornography. That's it. Keep us drugged so we don't fight. And it's worked on a lot of people, but it's running out. And now since Trump got in there and dried up U.S. aid, even though it's like everybody's like, well, the budget, we got to cut the budget. I get that. Okay. But what matters most, first of all, is drying up the money where it's going. That matters most first, because a lot of these congressmen are in on it. And so until you have the Congress purge, which takes longer than a president because it's multiple elections and multiple people, that takes time. And that's the only time we'll get the budget fixed. So all this big, beautiful bill, why isn't it cut more? BS, who cares? It's not time for that. We can't do that all at once. The Congress is still corrupt. But if we can get that passed where it locks in our tax cuts, where it helps us save the border, deport the people out of here that need to be deported, it does all those things and many more good things, actually. It's not perfect, but it does what we needed to do. Excuse me, to set us up going forward. And we have the right people controlling where that money goes now. Doge cuts were passed today. This is great. Okay, finally our Congress did something good. Let me show you guys today the first $9 billion, which I get it. Okay, it's pennies on the dollar, but it's still the first Doge cuts, $9 billion, were passed from the House and going to the Senate. And it's pulling from USAID, NPR, and PBS. The other stuff with the USAID is it's fully in control of the State Department now. Okay, so Marco Rubio is fully allotting where that money goes. Their pockets are dry. They're drying up. They used to be they'd spend all the money and then it would be replenished. And they spent hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars overturning governments around the world, fighting us from within, enriching themselves, our money, printing it and sending it out, and everything they spent replenished. It was a gravy train. It never stopped. And now the spigot is off. And that's why they did one last push out of all these funds at the end of the Biden administration, so they could have one last push. If they don't do this, things get much smoother. The last 2.5 years of Trump's presidency, I think, will be very smooth. And I think this will backfire on them as well. It's going to backfire to where they're going to lose the midterms big, I think. Excuse me. I think we'll gain in the House and Senate. Trump will be more empowered the last couple of years of his administration, and then it'll lead us into Vance, and it's going to keep going. But the fight is here. The fight is here right now. Your liberal coworkers are mad about NPR drying up. They love that boring, that boring liberal BS. Now let's talk about what Donald Trump did today. Yeah, he's upset a lot of people. You cannot listen to NPR. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. The funniest stuff making fun of NPR ever that I've seen was on Parks and Recreation, which is a great show, even though a bunch of libs wrote it. It's still hilarious. They do the they do the NPR guys, and it's just it's like, and now classical music, a real romper from Beethoven. It's like, and they're just like so excited about it. It's hilarious. There's no emotion in those rooms. It's probably just robots. Probably the first AI just run them. Do an exorcism on Soros. That guy might be beyond an exorcism. He probably only exists still because of his partnership with demons, So U.S. Op was a brilliant play by Trump. I completely agree. Big Bird at Waffle House. What is happening? What are you guys even talking about? You guys are crazy. Please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it, guys. We got some more stuff I want to cover tonight. And then at the end, I actually have an announcement that me and members came to a decision about the membership going forward. So, which I think it will be better for everybody. And I'll talk about that at the end. And there's still a discount if you guys want to get access to BAM's Pro membership. There's still a half off, 55% off discount actually, still in the description below. I don't make any money off that. Okay. He just gave me a free membership, which is awesome. So if you guys want to take part of that, click that below. All right. Just more of the crazy stuff going on today. Did you guys see this whole thing with this guy, Padilla? Actually, let me play this clip. So this goon, I would say, was Senator Alex Padilla today went to Kristi Noem's press conference and basically ran at her with no press pass, none of his security credentials. So they didn't know who he was, and they had to escort him out, and he got kind of violent. So, but watch what Kristi Noem had to say about it afterwards. But anyways, I'll get into this more in a minute.
What I would say is we were conducting a press conference to update everyone on the enforcement actions that are ongoing to bring peace to the city of Los Angeles. And this man burst into the room, started lunging towards the podium, interrupting me and elevating his voice, and was stopped, did not identify himself, and was removed from the room. So as soon as he identified himself, appropriate actions were taken. But I would say that, I had a conversation with the senator after this. We sat down for 10 to 15 minutes and talked about the fact that nobody knew who he was. He didn't say who he was, that until he was had been lunging forward and people were trying to detain him for quite a period of time. And that this, we're leaders, we're public servants. And if he had requested a meeting, I would have loved to have sat down.
When they got into the hallway, they actually had to put him down and put handcuffs on him. So it got pretty crazy. But this, what's wild about this, and Laura Loomer does some great reporting on it here, is this was all planned. And they're trying to get Trump to arrest them because they're trying to get optics to get the people riled up more, to get the left riled up more. But here's Laura Loomer says, further adding to the fact Alex Padilla and Democrats planned the stunt today, all of the congressional Democrats gathered in front of the Capitol to show support for Padilla after he was arrested by the FBI. Before they gathered, Capitol Police made all independent media and citizens leave so they could be blocked off. They don't want people asking questions about why they support open borders, violence, and chaotic riots. This is all staged. And she added, why was he not in D.C. today? It's a work day. Senate's in session. He was at the congressional baseball game last night, played in the game. So explain to me, please, how he had time to play baseball, didn't have time to go to work today. Wow, did he take a private jet? How did he fly to Los Angeles so fast? Something tells me someone paid for the senator to take a private jet to California today. This is a stunt. Now, on top of that, they had Hochul, Pritzker, and Walz, the governors of Minnesota, Illinois, and New York, respectively, all at the Senate today to be interrogated about being sanctuary states and how they've thwarted ICE from doing its job with illegals. And it was a very interesting hearing, went way too long. I couldn't watch the whole thing. But at the end, they all said, Why don't you just arrest us? How about you arrest us? How about you arrest us? That's what Newsom said 2 days ago as well. Come on, tough guy. Why'd you arrest me, huh? I don't care. I don't give a damn. He's trying his best Clint Eastwood impersonation. But they are trying. They are trying to push the buttons because right now, all these riots are going on. They don't have their instigating factor, their rally cry. In 2020, excuse me, man, something tonight. I don't know. In 2020, they had George Floyd. Okay, they all gathered around that. They rallied around that. That was their rallying cry. And that's how they deceived half the country, and maybe even more of half the country for a while there, into thinking these riots, these protests were fine and they were justified at first until they got really violent. Then people were like, it went too far. But at first, the majority of Americans were like, we get it, man. BLM, like this George Floyd thing. It was a brilliant psyop. They really pulled it off for a short time. But as always, they overplayed their hand. This time they have nothing. Oh, ICE is going in and doing this. Yeah, guess what? We don't have it on video, an illegal immigrant getting killed that looks innocent, like, or a child or something, God forbid. That's what they want, though. They want something to rally around. And now what they're trying to do is push this thing because they know immigration is really popular for Trump. So now what they're trying to do is get the authoritarian thing to go. And if they can get somebody to arrest them, then they'll have their martyr. And that's what they want. Newsom, Walz, arrest a governor. Oh my God, authoritarianism. It's here. He truly is Hitler. And then you'll actually have some people, not a lot, not the smart ones, but you will have people that turn heads. People in the middle will be like, wait a second. I really don't want to see them arrest a governor. That's too far. And so far, Trump's been very smart. And he's stayed away from that, but they are pushing it and they're trying to get him to do it. That is what they need. They need a martyr. And we just got to pray that they don't find an innocent person who's sacrificed for this. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get Trump to jump over a fence, cross a red line of that to many people would be unacceptable. Even if it's perfectly legal, it doesn't matter because I'm in marketing, and in marketing, that if you have to explain it, you've already lost. Okay. Democrats have always been brilliant with this. Communists are brilliant with this. They know that the way you psyop the masses is with emotion, with visuals. People won't think clearly if it happens quickly when you catch them by surprise. So when you do stuff that's radical, say arrest a governor, send the National Guard into something, or the Marines into something a little more heated. If you're going to do something radical, you have to set the stage first. Okay. I keep talking about this with like the Epstein files and stuff too. You have to set the stage before you go after the big ones. You go after the places because if people aren't ready, if it's not ramped up and they don't understand why it's happening in the moment and that shock hits them, oh my God, Trump arrested a governor. It's right. They were right all along. He is Hitler. That's what will happen. That's what will happen. And that's what they want because we're not ready yet. It's not time yet. And this Padilla guy, he was close. He was close to getting a good visual. Fortunately, he's an idiot and tried to rush a woman at the stage. You don't rush a woman, dumbass. If it was Tom Homan up there, you could maybe get away with it. All right. But they're not like these. They're so desperate to make it happen that they make mistakes. And as long as we stay calm and cool, collected, as long as Trump stays patient, we'll win. And it's the same with the Israel stuff. Okay. Right now you have MAGA like disagreeing with each other. We're not fully united on Israel. A lot of people in MAGA are a lot of them have that Christian upbringing, which I had too. Okay, I'm still a Christian, but there's that's the very Western thing, especially American thing, where like Israel can do no wrong. There's still a lot of that, and so they're just like, that part of MAGA is just like, yeah, get Iran. They'll believe everything fed to them about how evil Iran is, which is right, and about the nukes, which we don't know is right. Okay, but they don't think clearly on the subject. It's just Israel can do no wrong. And then you have this other side of MAGA that's skeptical and is like, I just don't want to get into war no matter what. I don't care who it is. Do not get us in unless it affects our homeland. Okay, unless you're defending our people. We can't afford it right now. We got to get back. These people are very skeptical. Don't want to get in war at all. Then you have the crazy fringe, like small fraction that's just like, Israel's evil no matter what. And they, screw those guys. They're crazy. The Nick Fuenteses of the world, but they're not MAGA because they hate Trump too. They think Trump is controlled by, Trump's controlled by Israel. So they're not MAGA. But the point is like our side is split over this. And there's going to be a lot of psyops, and they're going to try to drive that wedge. And again, so it's Trump has to play this perfect. And this is why we got to be praying, because there's so much more going on. So much more going on. Mason Allen, what's up, man? 5 memberships. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. The appeals court overturned the judge on the National Guard. Excellent. That's excellent news. Thank you for sharing that, Big JR. So a judge had ruled tonight that Trump couldn't use the National Guard and had to seat him back to Newsom, but appeals court has already overturned that. So that's excellent news. Welcome to the membership, all you new members. Thanks to Moose Knuckle, you guys now can get into the Discord, and you also can watch members lives on Wednesday nights or past members lives if you're interested. Alan says, I think you're playing their think tank. I'm playing their think tank? What do you mean? Roger says, surprised the left has not used a photo of Elian Gonzalez. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right, Kerr. Yeah, they're not perfect. Roger, that's interesting you brought up Elian Gonzalez. I don't know how many of you guys remember Elian Gonzalez. I do, and I was very young. Elian Gonzalez was 8-year-old, or was he even younger? Was he like 4? Very young. And in the Clinton administration, when they were running deportations, which Clinton deported 13 million people, by the way, they sent like a SEAL team or a task force of some sort of SWAT team. They went to this little kid's house and they busted in that door. And I think he was staying with like foster parents at the time or something like that. He wasn't even with his parents. And they ruined that kid's life. They just ran into that door, snatched him out of there. That was good old Janet Reno, the same person who blew up all those innocent people at Waco. Anyways, busted that poor little kid out of there and deported him. And it was horrible. It was horrible. And it's funny you brought that up, Roger, but the reason they're not going to use that photo is because that will remind people of a major scandal for the Democrats. Yeah, that was a major scandal for the Democrats, and they don't want to bring that back up. Just like they never talk about all the deportations Obama did. Moose, you can catch live once in a while. Awesome. Well, it's good to see you, man. We miss you. Michael says protesters should just go home, then they're safe in their home. Well, they're not going to, because they're paid. They're doing a job. And that's, you have to remember that. It's you just got to keep this stuff in mind when you're thinking about it. This is not normal. Okay. These are not regular protesters who are out there for a purpose. They are out there because they have a cause and they're working for somebody. Here, thanks, Roger, for sharing this. This is the Elian Gonzalez assault, this deportation under Bill Clinton. I mean, this poor little kid. It's heartbreaking. I remember my mom crying when she watched this story. I didn't really know what was going on. I was just listening to him, but because I don't know, gosh, I probably was 11 years old when this happened. So, but yeah, that was just insane what they did to that poor kid. Speaking of protesters, though, if you're in a red state, you're probably going to be just fine. We already have Abbott in Texas sending out National Guard ahead of time. We have DeSantis today came out and said that if it's self-defense, he's like, you can even if you drive over one of these protesters, it's self-defense. He's basically saying, like, if they're blocking the highway and you got to get out of there, run them over. We're not going to protect them. Another guy in Florida, a sheriff, was just like, if you throw a brick, we're going to shoot you. Like, they are not playing around. So it's crazy. I mean, it's the red states aren't messing around, but if you're in a blue state, or if you're in a purple state like me, where we have a Democratic governor, even though we have a very red legislature, the governors are in charge of the protection on this stuff. So if you have a Democrat governor, stay out of the cities. It's not going to be safe. You're right. It wasn't a SEAL team. It was immigration. But my point was, is they were immigration agents who went in. I mean, look at this. He's pointing a AR at the kid's face. It's disgusting. It's horrific. But that's the point. That's what I meant by calling it like a SEAL team. They went in full guns blazing. Like this family was, like they were a bunch of drug dealers with Uzis. It's insane. Just insane. So thank you, Brett. Yeah, please like and subscribe. So what are we looking at, guys, with the economy, the economic impacts of this? So again, we're looking at riots spreading and especially ramping up on Saturday. The question is, how far will they spread? How big will they be? How bad will they be? That is the question. How fast will it get tamped down? How much damage will be done? That's the question we cannot answer. Foreign policy wise, we don't know how bad things are going to get with all this. But Israel and Iran, this is not going to end quickly. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't go past a few weeks. But who knows? I think Israel did a big enough damage tonight where Iran's not going to let it stop. Okay, they're not gonna tone it down quick. So we'll see on that. And then obviously Russia, Ukraine still going on. The whole of Europe is trying to keep us in that war, get us more involved, ramp it up. So there's a lot going on, and we have no idea what's going on in that. Economically, I think it's pretty clear we're about to hit some rough times. This guy's been pretty good at predicting things. He says Dow minus 2,000 inbound. Don't panic. It gets much worse. I can't say for sure that's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. Kobisi letter posts this. Oil prices now above 75 a barrel and above over 10% on the day. At this rate, we'll be at $80 before the market opens tomorrow. Oil's just soaring, which is eventually just going to make everything more expensive. So fill up your gas tanks right away before it gets more and more expensive. Manancelot posts this. JP Morgan warns oil could spike to $130 a barrel if Iran conflict escalates. That would basically make average price per gallon nationwide about $6 a gallon, driving U.S. inflation back up to 5%, which I don't know if it'll get there, guys, but it could. It could, and there's just no way to know. It looks like the market stabilized a little bit. It went down to about 640, I think at the worst. It's stabilized around 600, but oil has come down a little bit too, so that's good. And then crypto is also stabilized. So, I think tomorrow's going to be crazy. I do in the markets. How crazy is the question? So I told you guys, this is when this is when the volatility and everything. This is when short squeezes could start happening, because the big money is going to get big time screwed on this to start. When they get shocks to the system like this, and they are as over leveraged as they are, this is going to crush them. Let's see, bonds. Yeah, bonds are starting to dump as well. So, but yeah, this is when we could see something interesting. And if we see if this really starts breaking, like Bam said, once you get past the 5 to 7% in a day mark, that's when the algorithms start breaking, and that's when stocks can break out. And so, prepare yourselves, because we're at the point where any day stuff could break. That's where we're at right now. Now, this all dies down quickly and it restabilizes, then we could be back into a little bit of a holding pattern and waiting. But right now, I'm just telling you guys, everybody should be on high alert. If you are in one of these short squeeze stocks, meme stocks, DJT, Finger, G-Bucks, we're at the point where any day something could break. It really could. I mean, again, we're in a perfect storm right now. Next week especially is going to be crazy, but the Israel stuff started faster than any of us thought. Trump started pulling people out yesterday. He started making mention that this could happen, but then they set the meetings for Sunday. Everybody thought if Israel was going to attack, they were going to wait till the weekend, wait till early next week, and then they launched right now. And that shocked everybody. That's why it's such big news. I mean, not only is it a big deal, but the timing shocked everybody. That's the kind of thing that breaks markets, that breaks hedge funds, their plans, everything. So you just be ready, guys. And Saturday, I saw somebody wrote, Kerr writes, there was 20 protesters in Detroit. I get it. There hasn't been that much yet. Saturday is the big day. Saturday is their day. It's their rallying cry to when this all really starts here. And that's when we're going to find out how bad this could get domestically. Wicked says, last time we were dealing with oil crisis, Trump opened up the pipelines. We had to give it away. Yeah, that's true. We started pumping so much gas here in the homeland that became a net exporter. So that was amazing. Remind the new members how to get to Discord. Yeah, if you want to get to Discord, check out the members area and click on that link, and that'll get you into Discord. Speaking of that, guys, so as I'm getting ready to finish up here, if you're a member, or if you've been wanting to join in the membership, this community has been really growing. It's been getting really awesome. And so I'm making a shift that's going to make everything better for everybody. It's also going to free me up and allow me to do a lot more stuff with the members, as well as get my members' lives over to Rumble, where I can speak much more freely, which I'm very excited to do. So if you're a member now, as of today, I'm going to start posting a link we're going to move the membership to Patreon. We're going to move away from YouTube. So what does this mean? Well, at Patreon, it's going to go up from $3 to $5. And I'm sorry about the price hike, but it just makes sense. It's still the cheapest membership you're going to find anywhere. And with all the extra lives I do and the Discord, the value is definitely there for $5. And if that extra $2 is just a killer for you, I'm sorry. But I gotta do this. Just makes more sense. I did $3 originally years ago, because I didn't really think anybody would ever want to sign up. But now that I've built something and it's valuable and a lot of people enjoy it, I feel like $5 is still very fair. And that also will incentivize me to work harder, make the membership even better. So the whole membership is going to move to Patreon. So what does that mean? I'm going to share links with you guys, because if you've already been here on YouTube, I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm doubling up for a month. So every member is going to get a code, so they get their first month on Patreon free. You'll get a free full month on Patreon. All right. And that'll be, you can bring your membership over, and you don't have to pay for that first month. So that will make it so you're not doubling up that first month. And then you just set yourself up there. And from then on, in 1 month's time, I'm going to start posting the links to the members' lives in the Discord and on Patreon. And it'll take us over to Rumble for members' lives. I'll still be doing my regular live streams here. Okay. My regular public live streams will be YouTube, X, and Rumble, as always. But the members' lives will now only be on Rumble, where I can speak more freely and give you guys more value. But on Patreon, we can build out the community more. The Discord will not change. But this will also allow me to have better gatekeeping on the Discord, as we've had a couple people come in and it wasn't great. And also I've had people being like, hey, there's like, are you guys shills that came in because you somehow got the link? So I'll be able to close that off and make sure that's only people who've joined through the Patreon. Alan asks, is that a new app? You could download an app, or you could just go to the website, sign up, and get into the Discord. And then if you're on the Discord, Alan, which you already are, you'll never have to go back to the Patreon again. You could just go one time and never have to go back again, because I will post everything. We'll still talk in the Discord. That'll be where most of the stuff is. And I will always post the links, the Rumble member links into the Discord. So you won't have to worry about it. Okay. So I know some people are like, oh, not another app. I get it. Everybody's got a million apps. That sucks. I don't want to do that to you guys. But this just makes more sense. It really makes it more of a membership. Patreon has way more tools. YouTube is really, as a membership, it sucks. It's just like you guys pay, and all it does is it makes it so I can create members' lives that only the people who paid saw, and it really doesn't give me other tools to do anything for members. So this is just much better. I can create codes. I can do giveaways. I just want to be able to do more of that stuff. Obviously I can do free trials, like give you guys a free month. I can't do that I can't even give away free memberships on my own YouTube channel. How stupid is that? So YouTube's membership sucks. I hope they're listening right now. I hate it. It's terrible for creators in every single way. So we're ready to get away from it. It's time. And I want to have, and also if YouTube shut down my channel tomorrow because I said something they disagreed with, which they have a track record of doing, the entire membership would be lost overnight. So I know on Patreon and Rumble, I don't have to worry about that. So lots of reasons we're making this move, but it'll be a month-long transition. Okay, members. So I know I'll lose a few of you, and I'm sorry for that. But the most engaged people will stay and will grow. Will be better than ever. And this will make it much easier for me to grow the membership as well, because I can give away free stuff. Brett asks, can you say retard on Patreon? Brett, not only can you say retard on Patreon, you can say all the good ones. You can say all of them. There'll be no censorship on Patreon and Rumble moving forward. So that, like I said, it'll just get much, much better. So I will be closing off the memberships on YouTube at the end of this month. Like I said, I'll be posting all the links so you guys could get your free month on Patreon, and that way nobody gets doubled up on, and nobody gets ripped off. Okay, because I don't want to be unfair to you guys, but it's time. I've been thinking about doing this for a month and a half, and after discussing it with everybody in the Discord today, I decided it's definitely the best decision for me and for the members. So, having said all that, guys, what are we going to see tomorrow? Who knows? Chaos. Chaos. That is what we're going to see. And but you know what? I'm actually like, I don't want to see death. I don't want to see destruction, and I'm tired. I don't want to see hard times for anybody. I really don't. But what I do want to see is change. I want to see change, because we need radical change to have a better future. We need absolutely major, major things to happen to get back on track in our country. And so I want you guys to know, like, I actually am very hopeful going forward. I think all of this is happening as, like I said, a last-ditch effort by the globalists, the left, the far left, I should say. It's their last-ditch effort to try to ruin the movement, the momentum we're making towards getting our country back on track, to getting our future back on track, to giving our kids and grandkids a better future. And so all of that, we always were going to go through a major reckoning. Okay. And that reckoning is now here. And what we should all be doing every day is thanking God that we got Trump in, so that we know that through this reckoning, through the chaos and then the rebuilding afterwards, we have good people in charge, people who love America and love Americans, love our traditional values, love our Constitution, that will rebuild. And they're not perfect. They don't need to be. They're just good. And that's what matters most. They're good, they're smart, and they're capable, and they've built before. So I believe really good things are coming, but it's going to be tough first. We got to just get through this time. And so, but hopefully in all this craziness, it is the thing that breaks the camel's back when it comes to the stock market. So our stocks can run. And I do believe a wealth transfer is coming. I do. I believe the big guys who've been robbing from us for decades, their time's coming. They're going to be losing as their system breaks. They're going to start losing a lot. And that's going to come back to those who make wise decisions, wise investments, and who work hard. And I do believe that's coming back. So, but we got to go through this. So I really think that's what we're looking at. And I think this is like the beginning of this major push to get through this. Can Trump cancel the $250 million check that was written to Soros? I don't believe so, Roger, because it was done under the Biden administration. So I guarantee you that was probably cashed immediately. They knew they had to move fast at the end there. That's why they made so many quick changes at the end. So, Agenda Free TV, War Info Live. Oh, they that's interesting. Embrace the suck, says Tokram. That's right. Embrace the suck. Sometimes you got to put your head down, embrace the suck, and it gets better. That's what you got to do if you're getting in shape. You're getting, you got to fix your marriage. You got to, get a better job. Like sometimes you just got to put your head down, embrace the suck, improve, make the changes, get through it. Sometimes things are just hard, and that's okay. That's okay. I really believe this is not the end of anything. I believe it's the beginning, but it's the end for them. Let me put it that way. It's the end for them. And this is their last ditch effort to not lose control, but they're going to lose because we've won this far. Trump didn't get into office. He didn't survive a bullet grazing his ear for no reason. God is on our side, and we're going to win this. So on that note, guys, please like, subscribe, share. If you're on X, please repost. If you enjoyed this, I really appreciate you guys, but stay safe this weekend, make good plans. Don't get involved. Just stay safe. Let the people who need to be in charge be in charge. And, unless you absolutely have no choice, but, just let's be smart. Let's be smart and safe, because who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen if, and we don't want to give them any excuse. We don't want to give them that martyr that they can get around. So, but yeah, just be smart. Not that any of you would do that, but I got to say it. We want peace. We want peace. And, so God bless you guys. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to join the membership, I highly recommend you do it through the Discord. The link is down below in the description, or if you're on X, it's on my profile. If you go to in the description is that BAM discount. And so really good stuff, especially if you want to keep mind on stocks with probably the best technical analysis guy I've ever seen in the stock market. And the fact you could get his year-long membership for over 50% off is amazing. So on that note, let's pray, because we need to be praying a lot in these times. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God, we pray for peace in the Middle East right now. I pray that you give our leaders so much wisdom in dealing with this situation, that we don't get sucked into another war where we lose American lives and American dollars. I just pray we approach all of this with great wisdom, and that the bad actors, whichever sides they're on, God, are exposed, and that they can just come to justice. We pray that this weekend would be much more peaceful than anyone's projecting. I pray that, again, peace through strength and wisdom is wisely used, and boldness is used. And so we just pray protection over our leaders. We pray protection over the innocents, pray protection over our country. And God, that you would just hedge of protection, wake up the people that need to be woken up, let them see the things they need to see, the things that would break through their programming. God, I pray that that's the things they see. And I pray that this is all just handled right the next however long it's going to take, this chaos going on. I pray in the markets, God, that it's the people that deserve to lose their money that lose their money, and everybody else gets to prosper from what's been stolen from them. God, there's so many people have been stolen from this system, and I just pray that they're all made whole, and that their families can prosper going forward. So give us all wisdom in how we make our decisions and all this, and just bless us, bless everybody here in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Love you guys. Again, please like, subscribe, share. If you don't mind, have a great night. I am going to take tomorrow off unless something wild happens, but with everything planned for Saturday, I'm planning on being live on Saturday because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of news. So, keep an eye out for me there, guys. And if other than that, I'll be in the Discord with everybody else. So God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night, and love you guys. Truly do love this community. You guys are awesome. Take care. See you soon. Good night.